I'm Matt Griffith, and we're in London, England. So while we're in London, we're going to check out several things. We're going to check out some museums as well as some iconic landmarks that you've seen over the years. And in addition to that, we're going to finish up our war of the fish and chips. I'm here with Sangeeta. I met Sangeeta almost a year ago in Pinewood Studios, and she has agreed to help us out with some of London. So where are we, Sangeeta?
We're outside the Natural History Museum in London. We're in South Kensington, and this is one of the main big three museums all along Exhibition Road. So the Natural History Museum it covers about 5 different areas of science, which is zoology, which is like animals, entomology, which is insects, including butterflies, so not just creepy crawlies, and botany, which is plants, if you're into that. I'm not really. But also mineralogy, so if you don't want to spend a lot of money trying to go around a diamond shop, there's loads and loads of different beautiful gems upstairs. And there's a 4th category. paleontology. That's the one that gets the most people here. That's not just dinosaurs. We used to have the Diplodocus skeleton in the main hall, but now it's the blue whale skeleton in the main hall, which is like the main hall when you get in there. It's like a cathedral. Someone's called it like the Cathedral of Natural History, which is pretty impressive even if you don't go much further in.
Now, one of the big things is price. What's this cost?
This is free. Nearly everything in here is free, and there's 80 million items in this building. There are a few bits where you can pay to see them. So they have special exhibitions. They'll vary throughout the year. One thing they do every year is the Wildlife Photographer of the Year exhibition. So then you get beautiful pictures of all sorts of different wildlife, but you have to pay to see that exhibition. And sometimes they have other paid exhibitions as well. But most of it is free.
And free is awesome.
Yeah.
I think my favorite part was the interactive volcanoes and earthquake exhibit, where they have a mock grocery store that you can enter, and it begins shaking just as if an earthquake were taking place at that moment.
So we're getting ready to go across the street. What are we getting ready to see?
So that's the Science Museum. That is totally free as well, except for a few exhibitions.
Free is good.
Like the Natural History Museum. If you're interested in engineering or medicine or how the Industrial Revolution changed the world, like this is the museum for you. It's got a replica of the DNA model that Francis Crick and James Watson discovered. It's got a whole wing called the Welcome Wing, which is dedicated to bioscience and how we should all be scared of superbugs. But that's just one bit of it. There's the engine hall, which has like the first jet engine and all sorts of fun steam engines and locomotives as well for you train geeks. It's got the space hall, which has this giant sphere that lights up and shows you all the different planets and moons and takes you on a journey through space. And it's got replicas of various pieces of equipment that have gone into space, like the moon lander, the launch that went on and landed on the moon, and stuff about people who've gone into space, like the first Russian and the first dog. It's pretty amazing. It's kind of mind-blowing. But there's a lot of interactive stuff as well. Like there's a giant metal pole in the energy section, and apparently if you touch the middle bit of the metal, it gives you a small electric shock. So
do you have to like wet your finger first or anything?
You don't do that. You're only supposed to touch it with a finger or your hand because it is live electricity, so do be careful.
Sounds fun. Let's go check it out.
Okay.
The East Hall is the first area that most visitors see as they enter the building, stretching up through 3 floors filled with iconic steam engines of various sorts. Next up is the Exploring Space Gallery, filled with rockets and exhibits that tell the story of human space exploration and the benefits that space exploration has brought us. Making the Modern World is a relatively new gallery in which some of the museum's most iconic objects, including Stephenson's rocket and an Apollo spacecraft, are on display. Flight is another long-standing gallery up towards the western end of the third floor. Contained in the gallery are several full-size airplanes and helicopters, as well as a cross-section of a Boeing 747. The Information Age Gallery explores the 6 networks that have transformed global communications: the cable, the telephone exchange, broadcast, the constellation, the cell, and the web. It was opened on October 2014 by Queen Elizabeth, who sent her first tweet.
So I have Sam with me now, and I also have met Sam at Pinewood Studios about a year ago. And so, Sam, where are we checking out today?
Well, we're coming to the Victoria and Albert Museum, otherwise known as the V&A, and that's conveniently located to South Kensington Station. It is actually the leading museum for art and design in the world.
So what is there to do here then?
There's lots of rare artifacts for you to come and check out, but also if you're into fashion, then that's right up your street. So you've got 1930s evening gowns, you've got post-war couture, and not just that, you've got some exhibitions that you can come and take a look at. I was down here just a few months ago for the Phoebe English collection, and what they did was they were models on rotating catwalks, and they were holding puppets that actually resembled the models themselves.
Okay.
But Matt, if you fancy, you can actually come along and do some courses here. There's family events, and if you're part of a school's program, you might be able to actually come in and try on some of the outfits.
That sounds really good.
Brilliant.
Let's go check it out.
The V&A covers 12.5 acres and 145 galleries. Its collection spans 5,000 years of art from ancient times to the present day, from cultures of Europe, North America, Asia, and North Africa. Their collection of ceramics, glass, textiles, costumes, silver, ironwork, jewelry, furniture, medieval objects, sculpture, prints and printmaking, drawings, and photographs are among the largest and most comprehensive in the world.
So we're at Wetherspoons. That's at Victoria Station. It's a restaurant in the station, and I'm here with a few people that I met. I was fortunate to meet about almost a year ago at Pinewood Studios. I've got Dan over here. Over to my right is Sam, Dawn, and Sangeeta. So we're here in London, and we're going to finish up our fish and chip challenge with the war of the fish and chips here at Hung, Drawn, and Quartered. So we're going to check it out and see if England wins. I've just finished the fish and chips at Hung, Drawn, and Quartered. Yes, interesting name. And so they were great, by the way. And the restaurant is great. It's got a neat atmosphere. It's near the London Tower, or the Tower of London if I'm going to be correct. But I have to say,
Scotland wins right now. That was the best fish and chips.
So Sam, what's this marvelous bridge we have here?
We are here at Tower Bridge, which was built in 1886.
And in the US, we have this nursery rhyme, which is London Bridge is falling down. But that's not really London Bridge, is it?
No, it's not.
Isn't that it over there?
There it is, just over there.
And it's a pretty normal, mediocre bridge at best. Where this is
Absolutely.
actually a kick-butt bridge.
Absolutely, it's absolutely stunning, and it's in the prime location of Tower Hill, and obviously you've got Bermondsey over that side, and you've got St Catherine's Dock over the other side, just behind it.
So it's nice proximity, got great restaurants around.
Absolutely.
Lots of stuff to do right through here.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you take a look around, we've got the Shard, we've got absolutely outstanding views all around us.
So everybody should check this out.
You want to get drunk in London? Let's get drunk in London. Boom!
The Beer Mile in London's Bermondsey neighborhood is home to no fewer than 10 breweries within a mile of each other. We spent most of our time at Southwark Brewery.
Which is fantastic.
London as a city is the perfect merger of the old and the new, and Southwark exemplifies this thinking as well, by making ales in a traditional process, but with modern recipes. The bar has fairly limited hours, and they offer tours on Thursdays and Saturdays, so make sure and check their website before heading over. But since they regularly rotate their selections of hand-pulled cask ales, it's definitely worth a return trip anytime you're in London. Southwark is comprised of a small team of experts and drinking buddies, and their tasting room has a definitively laid-back feel, which provides an ideal respite from the hustle and bustle of the metropolis that surrounds it. I personally found it very easy to lose track of time while enjoying some of their innovative new takes on a traditional style.
Yeah, that's good. It's like a taste of history.
All in all, the Beer Mile is a fantastic opportunity for any beer-loving traveler who wants to get a taste of some of that old-world style. But since there are so many breweries so close together, remember to pace yourself so you don't just come off as an obnoxious drunken tourist.
Because that's traditional ale.
Also, since so many things are walkable and ride-sharing is readily available in London, it's best to play it on the safe side and get an Uber to and from the area. And I definitely suggest starting or ending your call with my favorite brewery on the Strip.
Southwark Brewery. I'm drunk.
Over my shoulder is Big Ben, and all the contraption that you see around it is scaffolding because they've started a renovation project that will last 4 years that started on August the 21st of 2017, which unfortunately also includes the chimes. So those iconic chimes that you are used to hearing for Big Ben, you will not hear for 4 years. So Dan Lowe, give me the lowdown on this bridge.
Right, so this is the South Bank area. It's the heart of London's cultural scene. It was originally opened in 1951 to demonstrate Britain's recovery after World War II. The area itself is 21 acres from Waterloo Bridge all the way to the Great Hall. And as you can see behind me, there's lots going on, from street performers to delicious foods to street foods, lots of restaurants and pubs. There is lots going on in South Bank area, and there's a great place to come on a nice warm sunny day.
I have Don Griggs with me, and Don and I also met at Pinewood Studios almost a year ago. And Don, where are we located at right now?
The Sea Life Aquarium, which is just right by Big Ben. near the House of Parliament and right opposite the London Eye as well.
So easy to get to it as well as all the other attractions nearby.
Exactly. You've got the nearest tube stations are Westminster and Waterloo as well, so really easy to get to.
And so what kind of things are inside?
There's so many parts of this aquarium to explore. You've got the shark walk to begin with. You go through the tunnel and you can see the sharks underneath your feet. You've also got Atlantic coast where you've got this coral reefs with the clownfish, the pufferfish. You've got some spiny lobster and so many more creatures in there as well. Continue forward, you've got the ray lagoon. You've got different types of rays. You can have a look at them swimming above and also have a look through the glass so you can see their mouth and gills too. You've got ocean invaders with the jellyfish. You've got the sharks. You've got even rock pools where you can touch the starfish, and you've also got Penguin Point too.
So it sounds like there's a lot for kids as well as all of us big
Exactly,
kids.
the aquarium suits all ages.
Okay, let's go check it out.
All right. So Matt, did you know that stingrays do not have any bones and they're just fully made up of cartilage?
I did not. That is actually way cool.
Jellyfish produce light called bioluminescence, and this natural chemical reaction makes these displays mesmerizing. The rainforest adventure makes you forget that you are actually in the heart of London, just a stone's throw away from the London Eye. The aquarium is involved in several breeding programs including the Cuban crocodile, seahorses, and jellyfish, and works with many conservation organizations including Whale and Dolphin Conservation Society, Save Our Seas, and Shark Trust.
So Sangeeta, we're in Trafalgar Square. Tell me about this neat place.
Okay, so Trafalgar Square is built to commemorate the Battle of Trafalgar in 1805, which was a major victory in the Napoleonic Wars. So right over there, that is Nelson's column, which is 52 metres high, and at the top is Lord Nelson, who was instrumental in winning that battle. As you can see around, there are statues of various people who had important parts to play in that battle. And we have the fourth plinth over there, which is kept for contemporary art installations. So there's always something new and different there, and a bit quirky.
And of course, right here we have the National Gallery.
Yeah, looking quite Greek in style. That is the National Gallery. It's pretty
And
cool.
what's inside there?
Lots of really good art.
And art is like vases and vases. It's really nice art. So it's not just art, it's art. So I've got to get that British accent down. She's going to teach me. I love the accent. You all sound more intelligent than us.
Oh my gosh. Apparently we sound more evil as well. Like, British villains are better for Hollywood casting. There are also fountains down here as well. You can throw a penny in and make a wish. Do not climb in the fountain though. There are specific signs saying no entry. And also there are pigeons around. There's a whole history with pigeons, which I won't bore you with, but basically do not feed them because they were overtaking the square. If you're lucky, or perhaps unlucky, you might come to the square and find there's a big event going on. There have been protests here, but there have also been big celebration events as well.
And then there's also a lot of street performers, it looks like.
Yeah, we've got Yoda, we've got, I don't even know what that is.
I think that's the Grim Reaper
Oh, yeah,
right there.
Yeah, it's not real at least. But
I hope
it's
not.
floating.
Yeah, so there's a lot of neat things here.
Yeah.
So Sangeeta, now where are we?
We're outside Buckingham Palace. This has been the official residence of the British monarch since 1837 when Queen Victoria acceded the throne. Buckingham Palace was originally built in 1703 for the Duke of Buckingham as a private house. And then in 1761, George III purchased it as a private home for his Queen Charlotte, so it was called the Queen's House. And then in 1837, it was taken by Queen Victoria as the official residence of the royal monarch. And since then it was expanded out by principally John Nash and Edward Blore, and so they built the 3 wings around the main courtyard, which is what you see today. And it is the focal point for big royal celebrations. For instance, on royal weddings, they typically stand out on the balcony up there and wave to the crowd that fills the whole of the Pall Mall, which is just here. It's going to be pretty special, and there's like Union flags waving everywhere. If you want to visit though, you can't actually go inside unless they open it during the summer, usually like July, August, for about 10 weeks, and then you can pay to go in and look around the staterooms, like the throne room. It's so pretty.
So the changing of the guard, what time does that happen?
That's usually 11 a.m. on Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays and Saturdays, but you should check the website just in case, because it can change.
Okay, and I've been able to see that before, and that's really something to see.
It is. It literally is the changing of the guard. So the Queen's Guard changes, and the new guard marches down from Wellington Barracks down the road there, and there's music, and it's a spectacle.
Okay. We've had a great time in London, and our trip is now coming to an end, and it's given me a chance to reconnect with some friends I made almost a year ago at Pinewood Studios. We've also enjoyed some iconic landmarks as well as some great food and culture. I hope you've enjoyed it as well.